Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, Shir sponsor Lo Nishmas Ambiak Shalom and Leah Basitzchok. We're holding in Basra Daf Nun Vov. We're starting a few lines down the phone Dalef. The Gemara says Yossi Rav Acho Bar Avayo Kamei Deravasi. That's what we're holding. They also call him Shmei Deravasi V'Chanino. Chetzoivo Mafsik V'Nichtze Agir. That's what we mentioned before in the previous Daf, that there's two things that have a separation. One is the Meitzar, which is the border, and the other one is the Chatzov. Chatzov is Chetzoivo. My Chetzoivo, what is this plant called Chetzoivo? That's what Yeshua did in order to separate the lands in Eretz Yisrael. He put the plant that goes straight down, so you know where the land gets to. Now that we mentioned regarding Yeshua, mentioned another thing. That Yeshua, he counts, he says the number of cities. Why he mentions only these cities, not other cities? Only the cities that are on the borders. It says places, not the borders of Eretz Yisrael. The borders of every Shevet and Shevet. Because if it's the borders of Eretz Yisrael, you would have to mention only a few. He's mentioning also the ones which are interior. Whatever Moshe Rabbeinu saw, just last week's parsha, his Chanan Hashem, Kishbu told him, Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to go there, Kishbu said, I'll show you. For Isa Beinecha, that's another parsha. You go and you'll see whatever you see, that's all you're going to get, to see Eretz Yisrael. So whatever Moshe Rabbeinu saw is Chav Maisa. Lafuki Maya, what is it coming to exclude? Lafuki Kini Knizi V'Kadmoni. According to Lafuki, the three nations which were not given to Am Yisrael when they went into Eretz Yisrael. What is that? We have Avraham Avinu was told that there will be 10 nations that Am Yisrael will conquer. But only 7 of them actually happened then. Shiva Amri. 3 not. 3 is lost and lovely. These 3 are not Chavim Maisa. What are these 3? So as Rajmal explains, the Gemara is going to bring out discussion. Who are the 3 nations that Avraham Avinu received? Who are the Kini Kiz, the Kadmoni? Either is Naftoicho, Arvo, V'Salmo, Arvidoimer, Haseir, Amon, Moyav, Shimonoimer, Diskis, Asio, V'Aspanya. And different names, different mentions. The Toys has a cheshbon regarding Sichon and Oig. What we're talking about over here, we're talking about Amon and Moyav. And what is exactly Asio? This is, we're going to leave it, we're not going to go into it right now. But one thing is very important. What we see over here, when Moshe Rabbeinu saw with his eyes, that's what's Chav Maisa. And what he didn't see with his eyes is not Chav Maisa. What's the pshat in that? What's the idea? Why do we understand this? So one way to understand is the Parshas Jochim. And this Beis Hashem will be marich more in the Shur Machshav and the Daf. But just to mention here in short, that the Parshas Jochim says that whatever Moshe Rabbeinu saw, that became part of Eretz Yisrael, meaning, what is the mashmos of that? The mashmos is that whatever they're going to Eretz Yisrael now, that's what it said, that Levi doesn't have chelik v'nachlo in Yisrael. Levi doesn't get a part of Eretz Yisrael. Whatever they conquer los ilovoi, then the Levi does have a right to give a chelik. The only reason the Levi gets a meiser is only because he has no chelik in Eretz Yisrael. But then whatever's going to be los ilovoi, then the Levi does have chelik v'nachlo. And therefore, he doesn't get meiser over there. And this is of Kamina. What happens in Olam Hazeh when you conquer Chutzlarts and you add it to Eretz Yisrael? Will it be chav meiser or not? So there's a Yerushalmi, Ferish, and everyone learns Daf Yomi. Now in Chalo, we mamish saw now in Daf Yomi in the Yerushalmi that whatever you conquer today, there's a shita, at least discussion, but a shita in the Yerushalmi that it is chayav in meisers. It does add to Eretz Yisrael. And only with David and Melech conquered, it doesn't add because he conquered it too early. But regular conquering does add to Eretz. The only ones that don't are these 3, which come to Osalovi, and this is where the Parashat Jochim comes into play. So the Mishnah. You have 2 Eidim, they say he ate it for 3 years, meaning Shimon ate the field that belonged to Reuven. You find the Zoymin. Zoymin comes 18 and says, you never saw him eating it. You were with us. Mishalmim lo yisakol. You have to pay him the whole thing. As Rashba points out, there's a double, he gets here double. He gets back his field because the second guy, Shimon, doesn't own the field. He doesn't have a chazaka. And in addition, the Eidim have to pay him back what they want to take from him, the field. That's like any other Eidim Zayvim. You have 2 Eidim in the first year, 2 Eidim in the second year, 2 Eidim in the third year. 2 Eidim, each one is made on 1 year. So then what? So the Mishnah Muvah base, Mishal Shim B'nei. So then each one has to pay a third. If they all became Zayvim, each one pays a third. Because together they have a chazak. So if you have 3 brothers, and you have a 4th person who's not a brother, joins the first brother to be made in the first year, joins the second brother to be made in the second year, joins the third brother to be made in the third year, that's a good edus. Each one is a standalone in 1 year, and no brothers together. But to do hazama, they have to join together. Because how do you do hazama? So we have to disqualify all 3. So then you come and take the whole 3 together. So think about it. The Tanya, Omar Rabbi Yosef Shlach Abba Chalav Totzer Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Lilmud Torah. Abba Chalav went to learn Torah by Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. The Abba Yochanan ben Nuri, it's Abba Chalav to learn Torah. Some say it's the opposite. The one who went to learn Torah, but the other one was Yochanan ben Nuri went to learn Abba Chalav. We saw this also in Mesech Bava Kamo. So what is it? Right, so again, our case of our Mishnah, you have someone who has chazaka 3 years. He has 80 in the first year, 80 in the second year, 80 in the third year. Ma, what's the thing? That's a good chazaka. I don't say that. Kiva argues. On this specific case, Kiva says, no, you're not made of Dov Shalom. All you need is 1 year. 1 year doesn't do anything. You need 3 years. So in order to do a chazaka, you need to have all 3 years. Each year is a chatzi davar. It's not a full thing. Because it's not a full thing, you can't add them together. What the Rabbanan will do with davar lechatzi davar? How are they going to learn it? Maybe you'll tell me that they're coming to exclude when 1 says he sees 1 year, in order for a woman to become an adult, she has to have 2 years. Now the question is, she's an adult, is the avera of a rise with her, etc. So 1 says that he saw 1 year in the front, and 1 says he saw 1 year in the back. From her back, so there, it's not a chatzidov, it's chatzidus, because each aid is made on one thing, which is not a full edus. You just made the 1 hair. So the Rishban tells us over here, right? Because it's considered to be chatzidus. Why? So it says in Rishban, the ain't kan elay dechol the kol shitzer. There's only 1 aid for 1 year. The ain't dechol don't name Allah so subas koin shel chayvo. The kol chatzidov asel muti shari dov aktiv. Here you have only 1 aid in each one. It's not a full edus. El muti shnayim oimi achad the gabo shnayim be'achad bekreis. You have a full edus on 1 year and a full edus on another year. That you can't join together. So the Shayim are very busy over here to explain. So what is the difference between you have 2 Eidim in 1 year and 2 Eidim in 1 year, or you have 2 Eidim in 1 year of Chazaka, 2 Eidim another year of Chazaka, 2 year another year of Chazaka? Why are Rabbanan hold? Kiva holds they're both considered to be Chatzidov. Rabbanan says no. 2 Eidim in 1 year, 2 Eidim in 1 year, that's Chatzidov. But 2 Eidim on 1 year of Chazaka, 2 Eidim 1 year of Chazaka, that does join together. What's the difference? So here the Rishonim have different shot. The Rishbam learns over here, so other Rishonim, that you cannot do at the same time. 2 hairs, they're both there. So each Edus did not complete its mission of seeing a full thing. 2 of them saw half a thing, 2 of them saw half a thing. You have the opportunity to see the whole thing. You just didn't. That's what Chatzidon. The first year, the 2 Eidim saw whatever they could see. They saw a full year. They can't see the second year during the first year. So whatever they could see at that time, they did. That's not called Chatzidov, that's called full. That's what the Rosh Bava learns. Toysus brings another pshat. He says, pshat is that the 2 years, when you have two eidim in 1 year, there is enough kamina halacha. What's enough kamina? That if you have two eidim in 1 year, the one who's holding on to it will have to pay payers. So there is some enough kamina that comes out of it. When you have two eidim say so 1 year, nothing changed right now. Two eidim made and you hold it for 1 year, I have something that changed. I have enough kamina. Enough kamina can add it together to do that. According to Tosis, is the opposite of kamina, right? So that is the chiddush over here. So you need to come and create yourself. That's what the Tosis says over here. And the Rimigash brings let's bring one more sheet over here. The Rashi and the Ramban. You have when two eidim were made in 1 year. They're saying she's a ketana. They're saying she's not a gedola. All they're saying is when you have 1 year, is a woman a gedola or ketana? So two eidim made she's a ketana. Two eidim made a ketana. You want to join together, create something new. That's called chatzit dov. By chazaka, that made that's not his, right? I made that you started having chazaka. So there is something over here to touch. So the Rishonim are very busy over here to come and explain what is the difference between 280 in 1 year, 280 in 1 year, 280 in 1 year chazaka, 280 in 1 year chazaka, according to Rabban. Says the Gemara, so you have 1/8 tzadiyat wheat, another one tzadiyat barley. The Rambam explained that the Gemara understands right now, not in the same year. 188 wheat on the first year, and then the 8 tzadiyat barley on the second year. Wheat, barley. Different years. So Rambam brings that he spoke to the farmers and they told him that's the normal way to do it. To eat 1 year, to do 1 year wheat and 1 year barley. Harezu chazok. So according to that, 1/8 says 135, the other one says 246. That should be a chazaka. None of them said a full chazaka. So Tosis has, according to Rashbam, if the pshat is the chitim esoyim, like you said, that's exactly the same case. He didn't give consecutive years. So you're saying, according to you, yes, that's what he's saying. It does join together. So Tosis says a little differently. So because he says that we weren't really new, they talk about the same year. What's the same year? It's more answers. Also, that's what the Maskana, according to Rashbam, now the more changes. When you talk about 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6, they don't have anything together. They're both made in the same year. You want to say, yeah, but he says wheat, he says barley. What did he eat? People don't know the difference. So, meaning, when you have people sometimes get confused between wheat and barley. So even the one says he eat wheat and not barley, the one says he eat barley and not wheat, I'm saying they got confused. But they both talk about the same year. According to Rashbam, that was the chiddush, there more changes. Till then we thought it's 2 different years. So they weren't, no, it's the same year. According to Tosis, we always knew we spoke about the same year. We weren't understood chiddush as a contradiction. So it's not a contradiction because people get confused between the two. That's the end of the Mishnah. So to go on after the how started the Khatimi Alei Beitrin. There was a star, the 2 eidim signed it. Shakil Chad Minar. One of the eidim died. Also Chud Dehai Dekai, the Chad Chinola Sude Khatim Asyot Deidach. So now came the brother of one of the eidim. So you have 2 eidim. You have Reuben and you have Beryl. Beryl dies. So comes Shimon, the brother of Reuben, and Shmerel to be made in Beryl. So that's what they're doing. So also our Mishnah. What are you doing? You have 1 year, you have one brother Reuben with Beryl. Year 2, you have Shimon with Beryl. So Reuben and Shimon are going to join together. Yeah, but each one is standing alone when they're testifying. So here, when you have 2 eidim, Reuben is made on his own chatima. Beryl is dead, so Shimon, the brother, is made. It's separate. Says the Gemara, it's not the same thing. There you don't say that 3/4 of the money comes from brothers. Chiriva means 1 minus a quarter, which is equal to 3/4. But here, 3/4 is coming based on the brothers. Meaning what? Meaning, at the end of the day, you need 280 to take out money. What is the money? What's my power to take out the money over here? I need 280. 50% is one brother. The other 50% is being relied on a brother and somebody else. So if you take the second brother and the first brother together, that's 3/4 of the edus. 3/4 you can't do with one. And why is this one? So the Rashbam here, you pick your site. So the Rashbam, you know what's the problem with craving? The problem with craving, they consider to be 1/8. They consider to be only one. So if I take right now the brother, Reuven, and Shimon was made on the other 8, so Reuven and Shimon are considered to be 1. You have 3/4 coming out of 1, and that's a problem always didn't notice. The Rishonim point out over here against the Rashbam, they say, 1 second, so according to you, if you have 2 brothers that testified, they consider to be 1, they should be mechav shvur. They should be like Eidechot. We don't find that. So they're not Eidechot. So if they say according to the Rashbam, they're not considered to be Echod when they're testifying on their own, then they're disqualified. But when they're not testifying on their own, like here, so then they come to be like 1, and then considered to be 3/4, that's what they say according to the Rashbam, and that would be the little bit of the Pshat, why it's considered to be here 3/4. So we'll stop over here, because I shall continue from the Mishnah in the next half.